Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua, and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, SODELPA suspension lifted. PM reveals hard decision-making for school closure. And meth a factor Fijian lives now, says Minister.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The suspension against the Social Democratic Liberal Party has been lifted with immediate effect. Registrar of Political Parties Mohammed Saneem says the party has complied with all requirements and can now operate as a political entity. Party General Secretary Emilian Duituturanga has also been approved as the registered officer of SODELPA. The party has also submitted a final version of the constitution and audited accounts for 2019 as directed.
Since the officials of the party have complied with the 3 requirements that the registrar had listed, the party's suspension is lifted with immediate effect. The Secretary General of Parliament has also been notified accordingly.
Edwin Nunn joins us live now. Edwin, what happens next for SODELPA?
Jackie, although SODELPA is fully operational tonight, the casual appointments of Acting President Vijay Singh and 2 Vice Presidents, Ratu Epenisa Thakumbau and Ratu Chone Lasuma, expire tomorrow. The party will be holding a special general meeting on the 25th of July, and the advice from the Registrar of Political Parties is to sort this issue out at the SGM. But what's more interesting, however, is the political gameplay that went on while SODELPA was suspended. A party faction approached Saneem on the 26th of May to ask that Andiliti and Giyonim Baravi be registered or reinstated as the registered officer for SODELPA after Emilian Duituturanga's application on the same day was rejected. Additionally, party leader Sitiveni Rambuka has not signed the party's application to have Duituturanga recognized as the registered officer. The application, which was filed today, was successful since it was endorsed by the president and 2 vice presidents. Pio Tambaiwalu and Usayata Wangatairewa, party members who'd also applied for the general secretary's post, filed objections with the Registrar of Political Parties today, which has been referred back to the party. SODELPA has released a statement tonight seeking forgiveness from all Fijians, saying the suspension has taught them a valuable lesson to always put the interests of citizens first. Jackie.
Thanks for that, Edwin. Meanwhile, earlier today, the senior officials within the Social Democratic Liberal Party said they're united despite talk of a breakaway party in the works. FBC News understands the notion of forming a new party is being floated by supporters of Ratunaingama Lalambalavu. Lena Rees has more.
Recently appointed officials of suspended SODELPA have downplayed talks that a disgruntled faction could potentially form a new political party.
But you know, there are many things said about our party, and I guess time will tell, but you know, SODELPA is still very much the registered party, and everyone's still a member of SODELPA, and we'll be looking to try to see what we can do to repair relationships in the party, if that's what it takes.
Suspended party member Sitiveni Rambuka has confirmed to FBC News that the idea of forming a new party has been brought up by certain members. FBC News understands the idea is being driven by those who are unhappy with recent appointments and the direction that suspended SODELPA is taking.
There are thoughts about that, but the logical thing is for us to cross that bridge when we get to it. At the moment, there is no direct talks about forming a new party, which at the moment is immature to talk about and unsigned.
FBC News understands Ratunaingama is heading the faction resisting the decision of the suspended party management board. Tensions between the 2 factions came to a head on Saturday as both sides refused to budge on their demands. Sitiveni Rambuka refused to participate in the management board meeting unless 3 caucus members were allowed in. Suspended SODELPA acting Vice President Ratu Epenisa Thakumbau insisted this was not legally possible. Meanwhile, Duituturanga says that suspended SODELPA remains focused on uniting members by repairing relationships. Lena Rees, FBC News.
The decision to close schools as part of the COVID-19 response was not easy, says Prime Minister Vorengeng Bainimarama. However, he says it had to be made to ensure the safety of all students from the deadly virus. The Prime Minister made the comments while commissioning the new teachers' quarters at the Ballantyne Memorial School today. Sainani Boiler reports.
Access to quality education is one of the main focus of the Fiji First government, exemplified in free tuition, bus fare and free textbooks.
Throughout my service as Prime Minister, nothing has made me prouder than the progress we've made in educating our children. So for me personally, closing Fiji schools as part of our campaign of COVID containment was not easy, as I've said in the Tokyo language, even though we knew it was safe and necessary because of action.
It's now 102 days since Fiji confirmed its first COVID-19 case and 72 days since the last one. Bainimarama says he is happy to see students connecting with their friends and teachers after months of lockdown.
Looking at the faces of the students here today, each ready to get back to the business of in-person learning, reminds me that every sacrifice made over the past 102 days has been well worth it.
It is one of the happy days for the BMS family as the Prime Minister is present in the opening of the new quarters and be part of another milestone, ensuring that education remains a priority.
The new teachers' quarters, consisting of 3 fully furnished 2-bedroom accommodations, cost $660,000. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
Fiji is now wrestling with the effects of drugs such as methamphetamine. Defence Minister Nia Seriratu says the materials needed to manufacture methamphetamine are easily accessible from pharmaceutical outlets, as well as household chemicals sold by hardware and chemical companies. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Defence Minister says the drug is becoming more dangerous as any ordinary person can access the manufacturing recipe of making meth on the internet.
These drugs can be easily produced in clandestine labs and improvised spaces, including automobiles.
Nia Seriratu says doctors are also facing difficulties in determining the symptoms and the effects caused by a methamphetamine overdose.
In 2013, a Fijian U.S. deputy died from severe burns in Nakasi after the improvised lab exploded. So it's not worth giving it a try.
Volatambu Group Chief Executive Kalesi Volatambu says this can get worse. Therefore, a collaborative approach is needed.
This drug does not discriminate. It doesn't care what political affiliation you are. It does not care what religion you are. It doesn't care what age group you are or what community you're at. This drug is here and it will steal our lives if we don't do anything about it. It will ruin Fiji unless we do something about it.
The Defence Minister says methamphetamine is classified under psychotropic substances which affect mental behaviour and physical appearance. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Up ahead, USP Audit Chair wants independent investigation, and Rotary Club aims to assist 500 families.
Radio Fiji One, Nandomo Iviti.
The Ministry of Health will be able to decentralise its COVID-19 response services to other facilities across the country with $10 million worth of equipment from the Japanese government. The assistance will also assist the ministry with enhancing its services and further strengthen the relationship between the two countries. Koroi Tandulala reports.
The Health Minister says the assistance is timely.
We've had to look at ways to remodel our healthcare service delivery model in a way that will empower, enrich, and value add the more than 200 facilities we have all over Fiji.
This includes the funding of $3 million to UNICEF for the technical assistance to Fiji and 13 other countries in this region. In addition, Japan also provided funding worth $123,000 to IFRC for the technical support to further boost Fiji's response capacity for COVID-19.
The Japanese government have been assisting Fiji in other major projects over the years within the health sector.
We're also very grateful, as I've said, to the many other areas in which we've had support, including the Fiji Pharmaceutical Services, which has had support from the government of Japan.
Japan is a long-standing development partner to Fiji's health sector. We engaged in Health Ministry's various programs, including the dispatch of Japanese experts and volunteers in priority areas.
Japan has been assisting Fiji develop its key public health infrastructure since 1984. Corey Tandolala, FBC News.
The chair of the University of the South Pacific Audit and Risk Committee fears that members of the USP Council may not be impartial when dealing with allegations against Vice-Chancellor Professor Paul Ahluwalia. Council member Mahmood Khan says many of his colleagues have either written or commented publicly in support of Professor Ahluwalia. Edwin Nund reports.
Mahmood Khan was made to leave the last USP Council special meeting because his colleagues believed he was biased against the Vice-Chancellor.
I just cannot understand why I am asked to leave while other members that have made quite personal and improper comment without knowing the details stay on the council and vote for or against any motions.
Khan authored a report listing 33 allegations against Professor Paul Ahluwalia, which has not been addressed as yet.
There's so much being said about everything else. There's been nothing said about the 33 allegations that I have put as a paper. I'm not saying the people that are mentioned in those allegations are guilty. All I want to do is ask the council to please have it investigated independently.
As another special council meeting looms later this week, the chair of the Audit and Risk Committee is hoping that his colleagues will act in good faith.
And they have also gone through and said they've got no conflict of interest. If it's taken as such, I had no conflict of interest. I just did my job.
Professor Ahluwalia was suspended based on this report, but was reinstated soon after. He told FBC News then that he would let the council deal with the matter. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
The Prime Minister's lawyer today filed a submission in the case against Lautoka-based lawyer Aman Ravindra Singh. In 2018, Ravindra Singh was sued for defamation by Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama and Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum. It is alleged Ravindra Singh posted an unsubstantiated article entitled Regime Dirty Politics on his Facebook page. The PM's lawyer today presented new evidence of printouts from Ravindra Singh's Facebook and says until 2 days ago, Ravindra Singh was still posting on social media and referring to the PM as #ViolentVurenge and the AG as #CorruptQayyum. The PM's lawyer says Ravindra Singh had 2 years to show remorse, but instead continued with the same conduct he was charged for. The Lautoka-based lawyer then told the Suva High Court he objected to the printouts, saying this new evidence does not in any way relate to the matter before the court. Ravindra Singh says his conduct cannot be questioned based on the new evidence presented and that he has his right to freedom of speech. The case will now be called on the 11th of next month. The Rotary Club of Lautoka plans to assist around 500 people who are suffering from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The club has been active in the Western Division in helping those who have lost their jobs. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The Rotary Club has already assisted 200 families so far, but says the work is far from over.
In the meantime, we're hoping to get some gardening tools to assist people to start gardens, small gardens in their own communities and in their homes to help them, because it gets very expensive and unemployment has risen. So we hope to help as many people.
The club has also been working closely with a lot of businesses in Lautoka to ensure their assistance reaches a wide range of affected families.
Working with other organizations that are providing aid as well, and to make sure that the families with children who are unemployed at this terrible time have what they need.
The past few months haven't been easy for the club as the requests made by families have been heartbreaking.
We plan to be funding this initiative at least through this year, and we will assess the need as we get into December and look at finding additional funds.
The club mostly gives out essential food items among other necessities. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
And turning overseas, US President Donald Trump has shared a video online of one of his supporters shouting "White Power." Trump retweeted the post that showed his supporters and opponents clashing at a retirement village. And even though the post was deleted, the White House is now in damage control. And Karoy joins us now with the latest from business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up in business tonight, Fiji Water donates care packs, and Alham expands business to Vanuatu. Stay with us.
हम शायरा प्रकाश बात करता है और तावा में मिर्ची एफएम सबको सुने एंड मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business tonight, the Parliament is now scheduled to meet at 7:30 p.m. on July 17th for the National Budget Address. Minister for Economy, Civil Service and Communication, Ayaz Said Kayum, will deliver the budget address. The national budget debate will take place from the 27th to the 31st of July. Fijians and businesses are eagerly waiting for the budget, as it is expected to have a number of measures to counter the impact of COVID-19. As Fiji enters phase 2 of its COVID-safe economic recovery, the Fiji Water Foundation has partnered with key frontline stakeholders. These include the Fiji Police Force, National Fire Authority and Land Transport Authority. The foundation this week donated the much-needed care packs to all the three organizations to help their personnel in implementing the government's COVID-19 safe plans. Each care packs include hand sanitizers, face masks and seed for backyard gardening, as well as the water sports cap bottles. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Siti Venigilio says the packs will help lighten the load of all police officers as they continue to do their best in helping steer Fiji forward to full economic recovery. H&M, the world's second biggest fashion retailer, suffered its first loss in decades in the second quarter, and it says it would accelerate store closures, although trade has revived as lockdown eased. Sadifa from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest from the money world.
Let's review the trading on the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. While several stocks dropped in price, resulting in a decrease in the total market value and indices, trading on the South Pacific Stock Exchange platform remained active. 6 listed entities recorded share price changes, of which 5 listed stocks noted a decline in share price. Fiji Care Insurance was the only shares to rise in price. The overall market value fell by 2.3% and concluded the week with a value of $3.47 billion. That's a wrap from our local stock market and from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Turning to today's exchange rates as set this morning, with the foreign exchange markets in turmoil, it wasn't a great day for the Singamoli. While the Fijian dollar showed a rise against the Aussie dollar, it recorded minor declines against the rest of the currencies we cover. And now on to the commodities market. Crude oil prices fell to just under $38 per barrel, and gold was on the rise at $1,768 per ounce. And silver also rose today, closing in at $17.85 per ounce. In growing Fiji, Alham Smart Living has expanded its business, opening its 4th branch in Lambasa town. The company, which sells LED lighting, office furniture and wall decor, among other things, says the demand for their lighting took them to Vanuatu. The new branch has created employment for 6 people in Lambasa. The company has 2 branches in Nadi and 1 in Nambua, Suva.
We noticed there is a huge demand for it here in Vanuatu, which has prompted us to basically open our shop over here.
That's it from Business Tonight. Aquila joins you next with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Kroy. Coming up in sports. No rush into Skipper Cup for 7 Stars. And Siltails rep jungles training and studies.
My name is Enrico. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Supa.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
The national 7 squad will not be rushed into the Skipper Cup competition. This means players in the extended squad will miss the early rounds of the Cup.
Our national 7 stars may be in need of some much-needed game time, but that doesn't mean they should be in action from round 1 of the Skipper Cup.
You know, the most important thing I have at the moment is giving these guys a base and a framework for being able to do the running volumes and play the competition. So the idea is that they would possibly enter the Skipper Cup a couple of rounds late because they need to do this work.
One of the players who is itching to have some game time is Kalione Nasoko, who last played rugby at the Canada Sevens 13 months ago when he was injured.
Yeah, we've managed him with the medical staff. He's done a lot of work with his rehab. I think that he spent some time at home in the village and on the farm, and I think that's been good for him as well. It's been good for all the boys.
The Fiji Rugby Union understands that our players need to play some competitive rugby and is hoping more Sevens tournaments will be organized.
Some of the Sevens tournaments, like the Marist, that are planning to have their tournament this year, they can organize, which will then help our Sevens boys prepare since there's no borders are still closed for the time being.
The Fiji 7 squad has started preparations for the Singapore Sevens, scheduled for the 10th and 11th of October.
The KVT Siltails Rugby League team's inaugural start during the Ron Messi Cup competition, which was halted by COVID-19, has not deterred the team captain from shifting his focus onto his studies. Since the season was cancelled, Apakuki Tavondi, a final year student at the University of the South Pacific doing his Bachelor of Agriculture, has been juggling his studies and trying to remain fit for the next season. Felipe Naikaso with the details.
Balancing his studies and personal training during the pandemic has been the main focus for Apakuki Tavondi.
Actually, I was in school, so I have to settle back to schoolwork. I have to complete my assignments and all. I went back and focused on trying to complete all the assessments. It was,
Tavondi sacrificed his socializing time to maintain his grades and also play league at the same time. He says he's eager to start the season.
Yes, the coach has been giving us programs for us to follow. We went back and did training alone during the pandemic.
Young Timothy Namotukola says the cancellation of the season was devastating, but on the brighter side, he says they had more time to prepare.
We're just doing our individual trainings, an update from our trainers. We have on our app, cell phones, and we're just doing a bit of farming and individual trainings back in the village.
The KVT Siltails will be part of the 2021 season of the Ron Messi Cup. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
Fiji Mbati halfback Brandon Wakeham and his Bulldogs failed to spark again in round 7 of the NRL. The Bulldogs are now at the bottom of the ladder after being thrashed by West Tigers 34-6 yesterday. Despite the uncertainty over the commencement of the Men's World Cup qualifier, Cricket Fiji is rounding the pitch by scouting players for the national squad. The International Cricket Council will make its decision in August, but Cricket Fiji is not wasting time with the T10 best serving as a build-up to the event. Tale Materakula has more.
Cricket Fiji remains focused on its goal of competing in the Men's World Cup qualifier.
This competition is actually a start in getting together the bigger squad. This year was supposed to be the ICC World Cup qualifier for the men's. That is indefinitely postponed. We'll know later in August what the ICC decides, whether we'll have it later in the year or we'll probably postpone it to next year. Or whatever they decide, our preparations will continue as normal.
Aiming for a bigger squad, players will be scouted from across the country.
So we're hoping to have a squad after this in Suva, all over Fiji, and they will train in the different divisions, and then we bring them together in October to finalize a squad that will also prepare for next year.
National Rep Simoni Tuitonga says making the final cut will be difficult this time given the number of upcoming eager and talented players.
My aim is just to play cricket and move forward to be in the national squad.
The T10 Cricket Bash will continue this Saturday in Nandi and Lautoka. Talima Terkula, FBC Sports.
In their bid for safe sports, Fiji Swimming has its teams on the ground, ensuring swimmers are complying with the COVID-19 provisions. Aquatic centers in Suva, Nandi and Lautoka are open for club training only, but there are still restrictions in place. They include the requirement for a certified coach to be present at every club's training session. President Ben Rover says complying with the new provisions is vital to ensure the safety of the swimmers and everyone involved.
So at the moment, we have our guys who are checking with the Olympic pool in Suva, also Nandi Sports Club, and also the Lautoka Sports Club. We're just trying to ensure that we comply with all the necessary plans that are in place to safeguard people before they actually start going on full trading.
Holders Manchester City will face Arsenal with a strong FA Cup semi-final lineup. This morning, they showed class and patience in beating Newcastle 2-0. And Arsenal remain in the hunt for silverware to brighten their underwhelming season. A 91st-minute winner took them through to the FA Cup semi-finals at the expense of Sheffield United. Now to the play of the day. Cronulla's starman Sean Johnson has been under the pump in recent weeks due to his performances for the Sharks. However, in the 40-22 win over the Manly Sea Eagles, he put in a show that made him one of the most valuable players in the NRL. That's it from Sports Tonight. Coming up in Weird and Wonderful, we tell you about a bubble hotel in Iceland. This and more after the break.
Bull FM number 2 en seri.
And Angie joins us now with weather.
Aloha and welcome to the Weather World. The weekend was an excellent time to have fun and to enjoy under that great weather. That's that. Monday, on the other hand, came with its blues in all different shades. It was wet and damp for few areas of the nation. Now moving on to the other centers, in the west, sunshine was in abundance, lots of things to do, and with school starting soon, hope you made the most of it. Eastwards from Pekhava to Siva, a brighter day after showers, the night will turn cold and rainy. And up north, more similar weather picture painted here as well. Savu Savu will get quite cool here. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. Now turning to the tides, high tide at 10:58 p.m. with low tide at 4:56 a.m. Sunrise at 6:36. For tomorrow, there is showers in the weather system. It is building up and will pay a visit tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will be cool. The cold weather will spike in Ba at 19 degrees. Pretty chilly for the westerners. And looking further on to Wednesday, greatly and marvelously, the weather will improve and give us sunny and settled spells. Looking forward to that. That's all the weather news from here. Jackie, I love that color.
Thanks so much, Angie. I love it too. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, what are you expecting in the upcoming budget announcement?
I'm expecting assistance to be provided to farmers and those affected by COVID-19.
I expect that it will be a good one, and it will help us, especially for people are still in need.
I feel that we should,
look at that more. Like the government maybe should just defer school until 2021 instead, because like cost of sending these children to school, it's quite expensive.
I'm expecting a good budget allocation for the education sector.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, SEDELPA's suspension lifted. PM reveals hard decision-making for school closure and myth of factor Fijian lives now, says Minister. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Our poll question last week we asked, are you in support of the new and relaxed COVID-19 restrictions that have been announced? 71% of you voted yes. And this week we're asking, should the COVID-19 curfew be kept until the end of the year? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, first one for this week, we start this week with this shot from Lautoka. And this shows the sunrise from Tangaloli Hills and was taken by Sandra Mary Joy Ravanga. And you can send us newsworthy pictures to email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, our Facebook page FBC News, and our Twitter page at FBC_news. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow from the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
I'm Binal Prakash है, गोल्टन तामुआ में रहता है और सबको रेडियो FG2 सुने, सबको लाइक करे।
रेडियो FG2 देश की धड़कन।